Hey guys, it's Nate Jackson, and in this video we're going to review the features of the Messenger, how we can send messages using LinkedEngine. Now, as I mentioned in my previous videos, there's three different types of people on LinkedIn that you can send messages to. You can send messages to your first level connections or your contacts. You can send messages to anyone that you share a group with, and you can send messages to people you're not connected to if you have one of LinkedIn's paid accounts. So you look here, it's not very it's pretty limited in how many people you can send to that if you're not connected to. If you have the basic account, you can send to 3 people. You have the Business Plus, you can send to 15 people a month. This is per month. 3 people per month, 15 people per month, and 30 people per month using the highest level. Now, I went and got a trial version. You can get a 30-day trial version of the of any of these plans. So I went and got a 30-day trial of the executive so I could get this feature working for you. And you can send, if you wanted to, if you're someone who needs to do that, then go ahead, and it's 30 people that you can send to. But the most powerful feature I find is the ability to send messages to group members, because using my software you can download up to 1,500 members per group, and LinkedIn allows you to be a member of 50 groups. So if you is that 1,500 members per group at 50 groups, that's 75,000 members that you have the ability to message. Now, don't be silly and try to do that all in a short period of time, because I have no idea what will happen to your account, but I don't think it will be positive. But you have the ability to, spread that out over a few months, or and really make some good networking connections. So I'm going to go through each of the different ways that each of the different types of people that you can send messages to, and we'll see exactly what the capabilities of the software are. So the first thing that we're going to do is go to the Interact and Send Messages module, and it's going to say Send Messages Activated. Upload your list of people to message, choose your timing settings, enter your subject and your message, and click the Start button. So click OK, and I'm going to show you here I have 3 different files of for people that I'm going to message. It is on my desktop. Just had it open. I don't know why I closed it. LinkedIn messaging. So I have a file with a group member, a file with a contact, and a file with someone who's not a contact. So I'll show you all 3 different ways all 3 different types of people that we can message using the software. So we have some timing settings here, and if you're familiar with my software, FB Virtual Assistant, for posting to groups on Facebook, these timing settings are very similar. You can pick the total number of people per day that you want to send a message to. You can pick the delay that the software takes between sending messages. You can set the number of messages that you want to send before taking a longer break, and you can set the length of the break. So right now, the way that it's set up with the default settings, it's going to send 100 messages in a day at 3 minutes between messages. It's going to send 20 messages and then take a 60-minute break. Then 20 more messages and a 60-minute break. 20 more messages and 60-minute break. So when you're sending a message, there's 2 fields that you have to fill out. You fill out the subject or the message title, and you fill out the body of the message. So each of these fields can use spin tags. So I'm going to show you kind of how that works. I also showed how spin tags works in the post to groups video. So if you want to go back to that video, you can see how spin tags works. But basically, spin tags is the ability to rotate through different messages each time you send a message, and it randomizes your message so that each time you can send a different message to a different person. So it's not so robotic. So let's say you had 3 different types of messages that you wanted to send to a group of people, and I'm going to just say, for the title, I'm going to say hello. So the first message will be hello. So before I do this, you also have the ability to add customization to your messages, and by adding the first name of the person in your title and in the body of your message. And you do that with a couple of variables. One is first name. You just type the square bracket, which is right next to the P on your keyboard, the letter P, right next to the right of the letter P on your keyboard. Hit the square bracket and then type first name, all one word, first name. Or you can do the full name of the person. And when you do that, if you put that in your title or in the body of your message, then it's going to replace the variable with the person's first name or the person's full name. Don't use both, because if you use both, it's going to use the full name and not the first name. Now, there are a couple of caveats to using the first name. If you use the first name and the person's name has more than 2 words in it, like if it's Dr. John Smith or Jane Smith, MBA, then the software is smart enough to prompt you to ask you how do you want to refer to that person. And that's basically a limitation in the way that LinkedIn sets up their first and last name. They only give you 2 fields. They don't give you a field for a title and then a first name and then a last name and then a suffix. So if someone is a doctor, they have to put their first name as Dr. Jane, and then if their last name would be Smith, MBA. That's how they have to fill it out to create an account. So the software detects whenever there's more than 2 words in their name, their first and last name, and if that's the case, then it's going to ask you how do you want to refer to this person in your message. So you'll see an example of that. So the first thing that we're going to do, I'm going to pick one of the files to upload. And where is it? We go to LinkedIn messaging. The first thing we're going to do is the my contact. So I'm going to say hi, first name, and I'm going to say first name, please ignore this message. I'm testing some software that I've written for a demonstration. Nate. Okay, and also one other thing is I have this checkbox here so that if you always want to be prompted for the name of your the recipient, then if you check that, it'll prompt you every time it goes to the next person. So that's useful if you're sending messages to lots of doctors and reverends and generals and sergeants and people who have titles and things in their name, and you want to address him as Dr. So-and-so or Sergeant so-and-so or Reverend so-and-so or whatever. You can customize it every time. The algorithm to do that it would take a long time to write to figure out all the different combinations. I really don't know if it's possible with LinkedIn because it's just 2 fields and it's just so many different combinations. Anyway, so this is going to be the first message, and you'll see that it's going to substitute the person's name for first name, and it's going to substitute the person's name right here for first name. So I have a file loaded, and I'm going to click play, start, and here we go. All right, so it's about to fill out the form. Subject. There it is. And the body, there it is. So you see it substituted the first name with the name of the person. So it's going to click send the message, and then it's going to go on a wait for Let's change this to 1 minute. And that was the only one in there, so there's not going to be a wait. But it would normally wait but 60 seconds plus or minus about 15%, whatever you set it for. I originally had it at half a minute, but I changed it to a minute, but it really didn't matter because there's only one person in that list. So that's how it sends a message to a connection. Now the next one we're going to do is we're going to do a group member. So I'm going to upload the list called group member. It only has one name in it also. So we're not going to mess with any of the settings. So with this one, we are going to, I know this one, I'm going to show you how you get prompted for input when the name is more complicated than just a first name and a last name. So I'm going to go ahead and start this one. And this is going to be Dr. Frederick Simmons in this group. So it's going to go to that. Here it is. And you notice the message box looks different because that's how you message when you send to a group. So there's no subject in when you message to a shared group member. So you only have to fill out the body, but just fill it out anyway. So see here, since it popped up, since it's Dr. Frederick Simmons, we're going to address it to Dr. Simmons. And click OK, and it's going to populate. Just give it a second. You there? Okay, you have to uncheck the. Yep, it did it itself. It unchecked it, and it's click the send button. So there it is. So that's how you send to a member of a common group. And finally, we're going to show you how to send an in-mail message, which is a message to a person that you're not connected to if you have a LinkedIn paid account. So we're going to go to non-contact, upload that list, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to just click done, messages sent, and we're going to click, we're going to upload a new file, non-contact, and we're going to click start. So it's going to go to someone who's not in my network and not in a group. And you'll see how that process goes. I actually know this person, so it's okay for me to send a message like this. He's actually one of my partners and my nephew, in case you're wondering. Very good developer in his own right. Very good marketer as well. Anyway, so if you want to check him out, so it's going to click the send in mail button, and it's going to pull up the message box, and it's going to do the same. Hi, Xavier, and fill in the message. There you go. Xavier, please ignore this message. I'm testing software that are written for a demonstration. It's going to click the button. And that's it, folks. So we have gone through all the modules for LinkedEngine. And if you haven't gone through all of them, I suggest that you do. There'll be some sort of playlist on this wherever you're viewing this video. So I have several, at least 10 or 11 other videos that I've created for the different modules and functions in LinkedEngine. I suggest that you take a look at them all so you get a good handle on exactly how powerful this software is and how much time it can save you in your marketing and your recruiting and your sales efforts. So I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. This is Nate Jackson signing out, and I'll talk to you soon.